Hello, everybody. I am here to chat with you about you and your author brand. This is Ella here at Author Like a Boss. And let me just share this into the Author Like a Boss Facebook group so we make sure that everybody gets to see it, everybody gets to watch. So just give me a second there. And if in the meantime, if you can tell me if you can hear me, where you are listening from, watching from, and as we're talking about author brands, if you can tell me what you think your author brand is. Author brand. Okay. Okay. So hello. So I want to talk a little bit about you as your author brand. So it's not, so you've talked a little bit about, using websites and writing for your author brand this month. And if you haven't seen those videos, you can go check them out either here on the page or on our YouTube channel. Author Like a Boss YouTube has those videos there. So you can talk about your author brand. But today we're talking about you as your author brand, because we know that a lot of the brand is just you. It's you and people being attracted to you and you yourself beyond just what you're writing. And so today we're talking about you and your author brand. And so I'm going to give you 3 things to consider. Think about tips, 3 things regarding you and your author brand. So go ahead and tell me where you're listening from and what you think your author brand is. Let me know what you think your author brand is. Like if you were to give 3 words that you were like, these are the 3 words that describe me and my author brand, I'd love to see those in the comments. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Catherine. Catherine, stranger. Okay. And I'm going to give you 3 tips. So the first tip is to develop an author persona. And what I mean by author persona, hello, Rachel from Washington. Yes, Washington, we're neighbors. I'm in Idaho. So your author brand, your author persona is, I have notes over here, you guys. Your author persona is the way that you are going to interact with your readers. Okay, now persona sounds so like false. It's like a persona. It's not the real me. It's a mask. And that's not what I mean when I say persona. Because we all have different various personas that we have in our life. Like we act one way with our grandparents, right? We're like, "Hi, grandma," and you maybe don't curse as much, depending on your grandparents. But you act a different way with your best friend. Your best friend, you're like, "We're going out, we're doing it, we're hanging out." You have different things, and neither of them are inauthentic. They're still you. They're just different parts of you. And so your author persona, you get to develop an author persona that is the part of you that you interact with, that you show to the people who are your readers. And so you can choose those things that you want to relay and those parts of yourself. So oh, hey, Peggy. Hey, Rachel. Okay, so Peggy says she's from Arizona and her author brand is fun, informational, and encouraging. Ooh, cool. Okay, Peggy, I'm really curious about what you are writing. And Rachel says her author brand is she wants to encourage, inspire, and support others. Okay, I really want to know what you 2 are writing. Okay, awesome. Those are really cool. Those are really inspirational and positive author brands. So the first point that we were saying is your author persona is choosing which parts of yourself to share. And you can choose kind of those things, a few things in advance. Some things I recommend is like maybe not being negative, like try to be positive because people are attracted to positivity because we have a lot of negativity in the world. So people who are positive you're going to get more people wanting to hang out with you. because we have enough negativity, or how much you're going to share about your kids or your family. Like, you can set up some kind of guidelines, and then from there, be like, I'm going to be myself and be authentic. Now, that's a good question, though, is how do you be yourself and be authentic? Because being yourself and being authentic, you're like, okay, but what parts? Now that you've kind of set up some guidelines, what are you going to do? What I find is really good is to really try and relate to your readers and to have fun. Okay, so if you are having fun, then they are having fun. So, or they're more likely to have fun. So what this means is, as you're engaging and talking with people and you're being your author persona, go ahead and be a little bit, I say extroverted, but I don't mean extroverted. I mean, it's okay to be over the top. Okay, it's okay to be over the top. So like, if you write fantasy, you can really, really love dragons. You could be obsessive about dragons. I know somebody who's like that, and if you really like fantasy and you're like, and you can post on all your pages about dragons. Or if you write military sci-fi, some of the military sci-fi guys I follow, they're often posting like funny memes around, or police officers. A lot of their audience are police officers and former military. And so they're always posting these really funny memes and things that only military people can really get, but everybody's like, oh yeah, because they're kind of over the top. So they're being fun and they're relating to their readers because they know their readers they know their audience. And for example, like if you write erotica or certain kinds of romance, you can post and engage with people around like lots of attractive manly chests, or double entendres or funny things like that. So you can have fun and be over the top, and that's okay because it's social media and we all like to be a little over the top. Plus, if you think about it, it's almost like you get to become a character that you design that is authentically yourself. Because if you think, most of the reason that we like to read books is because we get to, or write books. For readers, though, the reason we love to read books is because we get to see people saying the things that we always wanted to say but never did. Like, oh man, I wasn't clever enough to think of that at the time, but this author is doing it in her book. And so you can be that person with your author persona. Okay, Cassandra says she wants to come across as wise and elegant, but I think I just come across as awkward. Oh man, you set some high standards for yourself, Cassandra, because I gave up wise and elegant a long time ago. Okay, then the third thing to know about your author brand and you as your author brand is that it will change. Okay, your author brand is not like, I have decided my author brand, here's what it is set in stone, concrete, never going to change. That's not the way it is, and it will naturally change. You'll start off with like Cassandra was saying, I want to come across as wise and elegant, but and you might have this intention of how you want to come across when you first start. But then if you are not naturally wise and elegant and authentically wise and elegant, maybe that won't work for you. Maybe you'll find out that, and I'm not saying, Cassandra, you aren't, but like for me, I would probably like to come across as wise and elegant, but that's not me. Wise a little bit, but wise and goofy. I can't do elegant. So that's okay for things to change. And to give you an example of how author brands have changed, probably about a year ago, I asked a handful of people if you could, describe me and my author brand in a few words, what would you say? And the top responses were dragons and crazy hair. What? I don't know what you're talking about, because I really like dragons and crazy hair, which is awesome. I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool author brand. But today, this morning, I just asked a few people, what do you think my author brand is? If you could describe it in 3 words, or my brand, my personal brand. And they said, bubbly, motivating, and inspiring. And here I was thinking I was going to be like goofy. When nobody said goofy, they did say bubbly though. So it is automatically changed even in just a year, even as I've become more natural, as I've become more myself, as I've become um, and as I figure out what appeals to people and what is easiest and most efficient for me to be able and effective and easiest, because I'm like, oh, it's so much easier to just be myself than it is to try and be elegant. So for you guys, if you are wondering about your author brand, the best way to get going with it, and so a take action step is to, if you haven't already, share with us the 3 words that you think your author brand is. And then I'm curious, go ask somebody, go ask one of your fans and say, hey, if you could describe me in 3 words, me and my author self in 3 words, what would you say? And go find out, because sometimes what you think you're portraying and what people are getting aren't the same, but it's not necessarily bad. Oh, hi, Whiskey. It's not necessarily bad. So go find out what your author brand is. Go find out and see, and then you can be more of that, because that's what people see. That's why they love you. And you can go and say, oh, well, if people think that I'm bubbly and they like that, they're fans of me and I have been bubbly and that's what they think, then I can go ahead and keep being bubbly. Yes. And a cat lover. Speaking of cat lover, I'm going to go see what's happening with this one and take care of him. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you got a lot. If you, we do a Facebook Live here at Author Like a Boss every Friday. So if you want to schedule those into your calendars, every Friday we're doing a Facebook Live to help you have a successful author career. Hugs and happy authoring here at Author Like a Boss.